Hi, how are you? Wednesday, May 24th. This week we're going to talk about the way to coming, maybe next year. Look at some pilgrim stats. We're going to see some footage from the Obradora from the other day. Talk about the weather. There's some fires. There's some flooding. And I have some thoughts on booking.com and pilgrims and if you should book or not. That's coming up. So as you can see, we have beautiful weather. I have put up on the screen, and this is a live camera, 2 live cameras, actually 3 because it's of me as well. From the one on the top beside me there is the Obradora Square right now. There's a group of children, it looks like, sometimes school kids from Santiago. They take the trip to Obradora and teach the children about the city. And then at the bottom, you have Plaza de Platerías. That's where the entrance to the cathedral is on the side. And you could see there are not that many people right now. Much longer lines and queues earlier today. So this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about the way to that is supposedly coming out next year. They're trying to get it ready for Easter. There was an interview in U.S. media by Emilio Estevez. He was the producer of the movie, the first one, and he is saying that they are planning to do some recordings this summer and then over the winter, I guess, edit the thing together and publish it in movie theaters maybe then next year. So that's going to be, I think, exciting for those that that like that kind of thing. I know some people don't like the movie coming out because that means there's going to be more people on the Camino, but a lot of people found out about the Camino from the first one, so I'm sure there's going to be more people finding out about the Camino on the second with the second movie. And I think the Camino transmits some good vibes, so why not give it to more people? That's my thought. Anyway, so that's for next year, of course. Hollywood, and I don't know anything about Hollywood, but even though they say it's going to come out next year, there's, I'm sure, financing stuff involved that may go wrong, and we might never see it, but at least maybe we will. Let's have a look at some pilgrim statistics. I think today we've had 1,404 pilgrims so far. It's busy in Santiago, but it's not too busy. I feel like it's fine busy. We are way over last year. So far this year we have 101,966 pilgrims coming in. So we've already passed the 100,000 number. I think the total for last year was 460. Was it? I think something like that. So we are well on our way to beating that number. I think we're ahead of last year's number at these days, at the same date last year. So that's good. The weather has been warm, not very warm, but comfortably warm, like 25, 26. There has been some wind, so it's been windy. So if you're in the shade, it could be a little bit chilly. I talked to some people yesterday that finished the Camino del Invierno, and they said that on the parts where the Camino was what's on the top of the ridges, they kind of tried to keep down in the valleys to stay away from the wind. So it sounded like the wind was a bit uncomfortable. Otherwise, there's been some forest fires. Of course, we have been having very dry weather over the winter. It's not been very wet. especially the east coast of Spain has had a lot of drought, and but lately the last few days there's been a lot of rain, almost too much. They have had like torrential flooding, and there's places on the east coast that is, you could see pictures on the news where they're got a lot of water at the same time, and there's flooding everywhere. We've had also another forest fire. It's out now, but they took 3-4 days to put it out, and it's been just southwest of Salamanca. I don't think it was in any of the Camino routes. I mean, it's close to the Via de la Plata, but I don't think it goes through here. I think it was in this area, just south of Ciudad Rodrigo. There's a natural park here where they had quite a lot of forest that burned. And I think it's one of those things that there's going to be more fires during this summer season, because it's been very, very dry. And as I said, the torrential rain doesn't really help after the dry weather, because the water doesn't really sink into the ground. It just runs on top of the ground, and it doesn't seem like it helps too much. All right, so I walked down to the Obradora Square yesterday, and I took a little video just so you can get an idea what the square looked like. And this was a vibe I think it was about 12 o'clock. And you could see pilgrims arriving, having a seat, enjoying the view, taking the obligatory photo with the flags and everything. So that was nice. As I mentioned earlier, it's busy, but it's not too busy. I was at the pilgrim's office also yesterday and got some credentials for the store. And maybe 20, 25, 30 people outside trying to, scan the code and get the thing done, the form. And it seemed like the new system kind of works well. So it's busy, but not too busy. So over the last few days and weeks, I have been talking to pilgrims that come pick up luggage from the luggage storage service that I run. And it's kind of curious. Some people say it's very busy and they had to book, and some people say it was fine, I didn't book at all. But I talked to two groups of pilgrims on the same day. It was a few days ago. And something clicked when I heard them talk. They were not listening to each other. It was first one group came, and then I asked them how it was, and then they told me, and then another group came later on. So the first group, I asked them if it was busy. They walked the Camino Francés all the way from way back, and they said it was fine. It wasn't fine. We never booked anything. No, we didn't book no day. So I thought, oh, that's good. We only had trouble maybe one day to find something, but we figured it out, and we didn't book after that. It was fine. And then, so I thought, oh, that's curious. Even after Saria? No, we didn't book at all. All right, good. A couple hours later, another group came in. I asked them, how was everything? Good? Did you have to book? Was it stressful, the whole booking thing? We didn't start by booking, and then we had trouble one day to find, and after that we booked every night. And I thought, curious, because they probably have walked more or less the same days. And I wonder what happened was that some people, when they have one day of trouble finding a place to sleep, they decide, okay, I'm going to book from here on. It doesn't matter. I want to be sure I'm booking. So they may book without really having the need to book. I think, at least I think that happened with this one group. So I just wanted to know this, that when you hear people said that you had to book the whole walk, maybe they mean they had to book a few days, because those days it was really difficult to find a place, and they booked. But after that, they just booked to be sure, but they didn't really have to book. That's kind of a thing that I'm thinking is happening. Another comment that I've heard also, which I think could be important, is, of course, the public albergues don't take any reservations. And I've heard from people saying the public albergues are half full because no one can book it. So the people that are booking are stressing out because there's no beds, because all the bookable beds are booked, and then the public albergues are half empty. So if you're in a town, you have trouble finding a place, book if you want. and maybe stop by a public albergue if there's one in the town where you are at the moment. I think that could be a good thing to remember. So if you can't find it better on booking, it doesn't mean the town is fully booked. That's another story, of course, because all the hotels don't book all the rooms in booking. They have spare rooms as well. I heard someone today actually I had coffee with a pilgrim that walked from Finisterre, and he said he looked on booking to see what hotels that he kind of liked in the town, and then he walked in the door without booking on book. He didn't book on the website. He just decided on the hotel by looking at booking, and then went into the reception and made the reservation. That's another way of doing it. He saved 10 euros for a one night there. So another little trick. So for the ones of you that are interested in seeing more comments from people that are walking right now, I will link in the description of the YouTube video to the live from the Camino section on the Camino Forum. The Camino Forum is a website that I run where people ask and learn and share things from their Camino planning and their actual walk as well. And I think in that section you'll find updated information on what's going on the various routes. And before I go, I wanted to make sure you know that I have an online store as well that I almost never promote. But one of the things that I sell is, have you seen this? If you walk the Camino, you probably have seen this. This is something that you probably seen down in the street. It's the way marker. It's a bronze way marker that you see in the streets in Galicia. This is the one from Galicia. They're individually numbered, and they come with a certificate of authenticity that I sell in this little box. And this, if you use the link that I have below in the description of the YouTube video, you'll get 30% off because I've had a sale going on. This is the one from Castilla y León. Let's get this out. Bronze. People like to have it in their driveway, I think, at home to remind them of the Camino. So if you use the link below in the description, you get 30% off, and the discount is taken at the end. When the last screen before you pay, you'll see the discount. So that's it for me. Hope things are good where you are. Stay safe. Ciao.